Let's go back to the phones at 617-830-4750. Our buddy Caesar from San Antonio is on the phone, and he will often have questions I like. So let's see, Caesar, what do you have for us today?
Hello?
Yeah, Caesar, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question I want to ask you. Do you think the U.S. should invest in stuff like bullet trains or even the Hyperloop?
Yes, I do. And the reason that we don't and we're so embarrassingly behind on train stuff is that we have population centers in the US which are disproportionately in some states. But when the country, meaning the House and Senate, decide how we are going to spend our money, you have senators and congressmen from parts of the country with relatively small populations who get to vote because they're part of the House, they're part of the Senate. So if you are a congressman in the middle of Iowa and there's going to be a really fast train set up to go down the East Coast from Boston to Washington, D.C., and I don't mean the Acela, I mean a genuinely fast train. What's the advantage if you're in Iowa when you need to go and defend your reelection to your constituents? Why would you support that if you don't actually care about anything other than getting reelected? So that's why we don't have it, and I absolutely think we should be supporting that stuff. It's a joke how far behind we are on train transportation.
Do you support the Hyperloop?
I mean, I don't. So I don't know enough about its bigger picture viability, but I love the project and I think it's fascinating, and I would love to see it made a reality. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, I think also a lot of people, the reason why, like, the airline industry is kind of worried because they think that it might put them out of business.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So if you understand, so the perfect example is Boston to Philadelphia. Okay. Boston to Philadelphia driving is, it must be what, about 7 hours,
Six, 7
Pat?
hours.
6, 7 hours, something like that. You can fly there in like 50 or 60 minutes. But of course, you've got to get there an hour and 15 minutes before your flight. And you've got to get through security and you've got to get to the airport. So if you live a half hour from the airport, you know, it starts to add up. If the trains get significantly faster than cars, people will choose to take the train instead of flying or driving because it's less of a hassle to take the train and you don't have to sit there and drive. So both the automobile industry and the airline industry do not want fast trains. And in fact, the coach bus, so Peter Pan is like a bus company based here in Massachusetts. They strongly oppose commuter rail that goes from Springfield to Boston because that's one of their bread and butter routes. And if you can take the more convenient and roomier train, who's going to want to take the bus? So yeah, that's a big factor, Caesar.
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you for the call, Caesar. Great to hear from you, Caesar in San Antonio. Our caller ID system is working. That's the good news. So we know when certain people call.